What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime is Blazer King with King's Critiques, and we're back for Botan Kamiina. I oddly don't remember 100% what happened at the end of last episode, except for there was a new character, and she kind of joined in on this whole thing going on between Ibuki and Botan, and maybe she's also a little bit jealous. Actually, yeah, now I do remember, because she's kind of in the same position as Gujo, but from the other perspective. Because, like, Gujo is in love with Ibuki, and now this new girl is in love with Botan, and they kind of have their thing, and then we have Akane and Yaeka over here doing their thing. And there's your recap for a majority of the episode, other than alcohol. So, that being said, as always, let me know your thoughts about the episode, show, whatever in the comment section down below ahead of time, in the middle, afterward, whatever you're feeling. There's an edit button here for a reason, unlike, Ticky Tacky, which this also gets uploaded to, so y'all think your comment proper the first time, because unfortunately, they're not like YouTube on that aspect. But that being said, hit the like button, subscribe, let the whole video and let me get the watch time, and that being said, let us get into things. Oh, hey, on topic of Yaeka. Seems like this is going to be a feature between her and Akane. We haven't gotten many of those so far, so that's nice. Okay, I said something about it being featured between her and Akane, but I didn't mean like that. Then again, sorry, couldn't help myself. Botan offers to stay behind with Akane and Yaeka, and Ibuki's like, what? But, Wait, so Botan did stay behind with them, so this is actually like the feature of the three who are in the most compromising position emotionally? Crazy. Well, yes, because that just kind of happens with mountains and forests, is even if you know your directioning, you don't know your directions. Because you can, like, enter at one point and know exactly where you are, and still somehow get lost after, like, 10 minutes. Same thing can happen anywhere. Concert venues. Concert venues are the fucking worst. Because you, like, go there, you get inside, you hang out where you're gonna hang out, you do your thing, but unless you're in a seating area, you have zero idea where you are on the lawn half the time. Because you can, like, go try to get a snack, a drink, whatever, if you didn't bring something with you or you want something specific, and then you lose track of where you are. Pretty sure this happened to me, a couple of years ago, and I did mention it in an episode or something. Something I edited rather recently, but I don't remember what specifically, but it was definitely uploaded within the last, like, 2 or 3 months. Point being, even in, like, places you should know where you're going, it's not that easy sometimes. Well, now we come down to the age-old question. And they don't want to hang out with the bear. Okay, but, like, her thinking that's weird just because they were out on a hike and just interacted with him just for that brief moment. That's really shitty to have to think that way, isn't it? Like, not just in the viewpoint of hiking, but in general. Like, I get she has a little bit of anxiety herself, especially social anxiety. But crazy that that's a way that people have to think, because you should be able to be just friendly with people. And I have RBF, like, the people watching on Patreon can probably consistent that a lot of the time, to where I don't really, express a lot unless it's leading into something like this, or just one of the funny things that happen that I don't actively talk about, so it's so subtle I don't leave it in the red side slash black side. But we should be allowed to, like, just greet people generically without much issue these days, but unfortunately, that's not how it goes. But hopefully one day we can come full circle in that whole once was nice, now a bunch of dickheads. Oh hey, maybe we're back. We can hope. But a lot of people are just, like, rude as hell, even if you're just, like, giving them a smile and nod and on your way, that kind of thing. Luckily I haven't run into anybody who's, like, that bad yet myself. but it's inevitable. Especially with the way, like, people are in stores like Walmart and shit. I'm gonna take 2 seconds to just, like, get into one of my whole personal grievances of signs. Because, like, Walmart specifically is one of those things where I might give somebody a stink eye. Because you have an entrance and an exit. And I know the doors open on both sides because they didn't program shit to make sure one way is the other. But again, signs are there for a reason, so you're not running into people almost. You know, when people are leaving on the go side, you should be coming in on the inside, not like cross and sorry. I took it from being nice to something on what makes me an asshole. Moving on. Why does Ibuki feel so weird about carrying up a bottle of water? Like, there's a sign that's like, hey, carry up a bottle of this water to the mountain summit. And she's being so weird about it. It's not like she's going to be drinking around these two. Well, around Chin-Lan there, maybe, but I don't know about Gujo being that lucky. Actually, that might piss her off, is knowing that Chin-Lan drank with her before. You know, one of those things I'm going to take a minute to just have a hypothesis. Imagine if Botan was with them, how much more energetic she could be, how much more motivated she could be. But now she's just kind of falling to her usual way of things of, man, this sucks. I want booze. So she just saw something moving behind the trees. Now, is it the bear or is it something slightly less intimidating? Slightly less intimidating. No, no. For once, she's not going to do something by herself because there's, like, I don't know, beer somewhere. She's going to help out a little old lady. She's about to get a lesson in peace and tranquility from an old lady. Which, honestly, isn't that usually the proverbial way of things? Now the old lady has her interest. It's like, sake, you say? I'm listening. Man, she's taking the old lady's water, which can at least help her be able to move freely, which is nice. But that question, we know the answer why. She wants that sake. Uh, um, some say that old lady died 3 years ago while going up the mountain trail, and she still helps out random travelers to this day. Again, I gotta compliment the art. Because, like, a lot of the times I'm not a very detailed person. I'm a very, generally appreciative person of art and art. But that has really nice detailing to things that people don't usually pay attention to. Even the, like, oddities of it. What about the other half? Yeah, that's very nice as well. That goes back to my usual appreciation of art. But again, the detailing is very nice. So, it's not going to be as plain and simple as we expect it to be, is it? Like, she's probably referring to some type of alcohol, and they're going to go and drink together. Or do we get an actual confession between the two of them? Because that would be even better. Not what I thought, but Ibuki was totally thinking the same thing I was. You don't have to see into space to see a Milky Way. You can see it right here. Okay, so I'm guessing, like, they can see the literal stars in a couple hours if they go somewhere specific, or maybe an observatory or planetarium or something. Perhaps specifically in the case of on a date. Because what happened the other night when they were out with Chin-Lan, yeah, that definitely Chin-Lan, yeah, that definitely was more romantic than everything they've done thus far. Even with Botan's salacious drunk side. Outside being a potential thumbnail, I literally thought she was about to bring up, does that mean this is a date? Nah, they gotta U-turn us with that one. Did she say it? Did she not say it? Did they just move on from that conversation? Because I'm guessing we're in a bar at this current point, so. Okay, they have not gotten to a bar yet. They're just sitting, chilling. They might have brought booze with them. Then again, I think Japan's more actually respectful about drinking in public half the time. Like, at a park, a couple of drinks, that might be different, but in this case, I imagine they'll probably be more respectful than that. Well, I guess I stand corrected. Oh, she even brought beer that was, like, on topic for their outing. Yeah, Ibuki gets the whole sense of what a date is about and is doing everything to be as, like, cute as she can. I approve of her way of thinking. So, the alcohol is starting to take effect because that, more Ibuki-oriented sense of her mind is starting to turn. Aw, look at our RA being all cute and stuff. Yeah, she's not really afraid of letting her mind go either at this point, is she? Like, the first week or so, probably, but by this point, she's like, yeah, I might just be in love with this girl. And honestly, go Ibuki. Yeah, they were not expecting it to be that close and intimate when they bought those tickets, were they? Or did Botan do that on purpose? Look how her face says maybe. She did do that on purpose. You know what? Maybe she kind of wins out in this whole being cute and flirtatious on this definite date thing. Since when were the pink-haired center of things like this the ones who were more on the dominant side? Because last time we went over this kind of relationship in a show, the pink cat was definitely not the one to be the aggressor half of the time. Well, at least she didn't catch her completely naked. That was less embarrassing than it could have been. Hey, she was done with it. She was probably about to leave, right? That's how that went, right? Before she continues on, is this like us taking from the, you know, pathing we had for stuff going on here, and now it's just gonna go back to a full triangle in a way? Like a trapezoid? Because it looks like that's where that might be going. Could be wrong. She really just asked if she was drinking facial toner. I'm pretty sure that's not what that looks like. I mean, maybe makeup is really weird colors sometimes. But it was also a very interesting kind of cup she was using, not your typical sake cup. Yeah, I'm encouraged to think that's like a different kind of sake cup than you'd normally see. Because aren't they usually more round? Not like a lipped thing that kind of... What shape am I trying to think of here? Like a cone? Like a half cone? Speaking of cones, I gotta go on another website and look something up. Excuse me, later. That sake is older than most of you. Yeah, Ibuki talking a lot about a specific kind of alcohol. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, now I'm gonna be the one to say it, but like, you can't use this kind of screenshot with that kind of text without it going other thought processes. Especially with them drinking alcohol, and I don't think Gujo has drank with Chin-Lan at all yet. So, for all she knows, she could be the perverted type when drunk. Kinda like Botan. I think she took that the wrong way, too. Like I said, make it a full trapezoid or whatever shape I was trying to put out there. So, Chin-Lan and Botan are kind of on a similar wavelength with a lot of things. That's gonna make it really hard for Gujo. Before the outro plays, the way it just kept ringing, the path is ready, as finger approached her lips. that I'll probably go into this in further detail in a minute, but just the way that everything is subtle but direct at the same time is very much appreciated for how they do things. And sometimes, like, not actually seeing things happen is not so bad when the subtlety just so good. Because take the stargazing that just went down before this whole bit with Ibuki and Botan. Like, what went down there? So I guess it's kind of nice to, like, give Gujo something if she's having Ibuki taken from her in theory with maybe the new girl. Then you can have 6 really good friends and 3 happy couples living in the same house without any drama, any bullshit. Might there still be some drama at some point? Sure, because shows tend to do that sometimes, but sometimes it also doesn't take forever. I mean, look at the thing that was similar to this with Watanabe. They had like an episode ish of drama, and then it went back to, the usual kind of thing, other than Renako's mental anguish about which art is she going to date officially. But we saw where that went in the season finale, and I cannot wait for more. But as for this, it's going a really nice path in a way. Like, even with the depression, there's some light to it, and we appreciate those. Okay, but like, one, editing me, remember to remove the things you need to. With the outro, that was really cute, because, like, I guess Yaeka had somebody else she, like, met and fell for, and, the whole thing of somebody who does a performance and does really good at it, and you want to go congratulate them, but what you have for them isn't as spectacular as what somebody else might have gotten for them, so you just kind of, like, wave and congratulate and then move on with your life and, forget about it, and I guess that's where she might have fallen for Akane more, is maybe they were already friends and Akane treated her away. We didn't get all that, obviously, but assumedly that's how it went. So, honestly, I think a lot more depressing things probably happen within the outros rather than the show itself. Again, still a handful of episodes, so maybe that's not the case, but we'll see. For now, though, one, like I said, it is kind of fun to see that maybe they're, instead of making it how I thought it sounded, because that's what social media was making it seem like, that, it was one main couple, but one of those two had other people into her, and maybe someone into the other half, which is kind of true, but also with how things are currently progressing, I don't know. Because again, it kind of started as Botan and Ibuki as the main focus. And then you realize that Gujo was in love with Ibuki. But then Gujo might have also been kinda into Botan. And then Chin-Lan got introduced and she seemed like she was kinda into Botan. But now it seems like Chin-Lan and Gujo might be a thing. So, like, it kinda works out in the end. Again, as long as there's no, like, big jealousy driven kind of thing with one of the things that was just aforementioned. But going into episode 8, so got 5 episodes, and hope to get most of them in today, and then the rest tomorrow. If I don't get all of them today, but still, I'll be wearing this shirt either way, just because I don't know if I have any other gaily inspired shirts. But regardless, so far, whether it be like some sort of weird trapezoid or something, and then Akane and Yaeka doing their thing, I dig everything going on so far. It makes my soul happy, and if you're one of those people that leaves mean comments on TikTok, well, but This is where this is where the whole quote from you know, Dress Up Darling comes from, where if you make fun of people for the things they like, you're a real asshole. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but however, of course, there are obviously caveats to those things, because there's obviously really weird or creepy things that you definitely can judge somebody for. But if, like, you know, two women showing a very sweet romantic love for each other makes your heart happy, and that makes you get looked at weird, well, isn't that kind of the point of how these days work, is like that exact kind of thing being promoted? Obviously, pulling back and not being a full asshole about it, because a lot of people take advantage of that, but that's not this kind of topic. That's one of those things I might bitch about on another show or on TikTok or something. For now, we embrace everything that this has to give, and even if it does not still fall under, the flag of the month, I might still upload it come July. I might not. I don't know. I don't have a lot of things that fall into the Yuri category that's finished currently, so maybe I will go back to just doing it on Monday for a little bit. Then again, July is going to be the month of just doing whatever the hell I feel like, so we'll see how that goes, because there's things I want to do on the other two channels too. So I'll see about planning this better. There's things I gotta finish all around, so. But, back on this, really sweet story. Love where it's going. Let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know who your favorite couple is. Maybe I'll remember to put a quiz. I think I've said that in a couple of these episodes, honestly. But that being said, let me know your thoughts on all that shit. Whatever other shows, movies, etc. I should check out this season, next season, or in general. Hit the like button, subscribe to the review check. I haven't done that in a while and fucked up. Let me try that again. Hit the like button, subscribe to the other channels in the description. Ring bells, like Facebook, follow Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, Patreon, and Twitch. Subscribe to Patreon and Twitch to get all them benefits that you can. And until next time, been the Blazer King with King's Critiques. Out, ta-ta for now. Peace.